What a bummer. Guess we can take that off. The week's over. The weekend's over. Had fun on that. My lady just bought that this week. So we took a trip, but I got dispatched and now I gotta go back to work. I gotta go trucking. Well, shit. Back to work again, as we do. The work week seems to kind of drag by somewhat, and the time off flies by, right? I tell you what, if I was younger and running the way I used to run back in the day, you could fucking make bank working at this place. I tell you what, because I'm making $2,500 a week right now, and I'll post some check stubs right here. So that makes it legit, right? Either that or I Photoshop those on my computer. You never know. Maybe I did. But anyway, I was thinking about it because some of these guys here run like 5,500 miles a week. And last week, they sent me a dispatch and I was going to be at like 4,300, 4,500, somewhere like that by the time I got back up to Michigan. And they sent me a dispatch going down to Alabama, which I declined it. And I said, no, I am going home. I don't want that. But that would have been like 5,500 miles for the week. So then I was doing a little mathematical calculation. And that's a lot of fucking money. Because you got your 5,500 miles, which that would take you about 8 days to do that. Maybe 8.5, depending on how hard you ran. You technically probably could do it in 7.5, really, if you were fucking able to run because of this ag exempt. Because I'm not running out my full days. I'm doing about 700, 750 miles on ag exempt. I know people are gonna troll me and say I'm bullshitting, but fuck, you could probably run 900 or better. I still had a lot of hours left when I parked here. But I'm just getting old and I've been doing this a while. I don't know about all that. Running that many damn miles. So right around 700 miles, 750 a day, that's where I'm done. But anyway, to get back on the point of it, this company also has a safety bonus, which is, you know, just your basic safety shit, but also primarily it focuses on your speed. That's where, because the rest of it's pretty easy to get. I don't get it because I speed. I did get it for a while back when I was working for the other side, the other division, but I kind of gave up on it. And I'll tell you why real quick, why I did. It's because the government's got the roads all fucked up, because our government's stupid. I don't know if you noticed that or not, but it's not the 70 mile an hour zones, or, you know, the 65 in Michigan, or let's say I'm out on a secondary road that's 55 miles an hour, a 2-lane highway. It's not those that I mind. I'll go 65 in Michigan, I'll go 70 on, you know, a 70 mile an hour road, and I'll go 55 out on a secondary road. The problem is, like, take the Chicago Skyway. That's a 3-lane fucking freeway, right? 6 lanes counting both sides. That's 45 miles an hour through there. Nobody's going 45 fucking miles an hour on a damn freeway through there. People are doing like 80, right? Or I-80, I-94 south of Chicago. That's 8 lanes total, you know, 4 lanes per side. That's 55 miles an hour through there. Fuck no, nobody's doing that. Not even the trucks, right? You might have a couple. And then, like Tennessee, if you're going up 75, I think it's north of Knoxville, it's 55 miles an hour through there for like fucking 10, 20 miles. I've never really calculated it. A long fucking ways. And that's on the interstate, you know? So 55 miles on the fucking interstate is way too slow. Same thing when you're coming out of Nashville. It's real fucking stupid there, because you come out of Nashville, it's 65. Then nothing changes. It's like 4 lanes wide. Nothing changes. All the roads pretty much the same, right? but then it drops down to 55 for like 4 or 5 miles. Then it goes back up to 65. Then it drops back down to 55, and then it goes back up to 65, and you come out. Why it does that? I personally think because back in the day, that was their little speed trap, because there used to be cops all over the fucking place back in the day around here. But I guess they got defunded or something, I don't know. Or they don't give a fuck no more. Because they got shit on like everybody else. But that's my problem with it. And when I'm doing 55 in those areas like that, it's more fucking dangerous than it is any good, because then I'm in the right lane, you know, kind of clogging up traffic as it is. But then everybody's merging on, so I got to keep fucking switching lanes and trying to get out at 55 when everyone's doing, you know, 65 to fucking 85, legitimately. So it's just, I just gave up on it. But to get back on the topic a little bit there, that's $800 a month if you get that bonus. So if you ran out your 7 to 8 days and did your 5,500 miles, and then the bonus or whatever, it's like $3,700 fucking dollars a week. I haven't punched the math on what that would be a year, but I mean, I think I'm at like 120 or 130,000 a year doing what I'm doing right now. So fuck, it's up there, man. So like, you know, back in the day after I got divorced, I just committed to the road for quite a few years, and I actually lived out here for about a year. I didn't have a house, I just lived in a truck, which is like a whole nother video. I don't know about all that, but you know, if you're on that level of trucking and you ain't all lazy like I'm getting, fucking make some money, man. Holy shit. First load hooked on for the week. Yeah, I'm totally not feeling this shit this week like I ever do, but man, I'm only 140 miles into like a, what, 750, 800 mile trip. And I'm ready to take a fucking nap. I actually slept last night too, but I don't know what the fuck. But the little things that you get excited about. I got new steer tires. Yay. I had a fucked up steer tire. It's kind of sketchy. Vibrated a little bit. Nobody wants to blow a steer tire, I'll tell you that. So I wasn't sure if they were gonna like scab it out with some bullshit or what they were gonna do, but they put a brand new set on here, and they actually put a very nice quality set on here. So I'm pretty happy about that. And being a company driver, because I don't gotta pay for that shit, right? So we're off. We'll see how far I make it before I stop and take a nap with my old ass. Over here, I don't know if you can really see very well. I'll try to zoom it in when I edit it, but that's where all the little babies are at, right? And I don't care if you're a rough, tough, truck driving, Harley riding asshole.
A baby cow is still cute.
So anyway, before I went off on all that crazy shit, also that Mr. Tim Martin, I believe his name was, there on that, wanting to see this truck. I'm sorry, brother. I ain't got around to it yet. I actually have that video all kind of cut up on my computer right now. But I haven't got around to it because I've been doing some shit. It's summertime up in Michigan. And we got the new RV this weekend. So I spent a lot of time working on that, because you got to get the bugs worked out on that. And then the bikes. I got my bike, I don't know, a month ago or something. My new one. And my girlfriend just got a new one this weekend, which is kind of funny. Here, look at this video right here. Oh. You gotta check out my crazy girlfriend, right? We get to the parts store, and I realized that she just got a couple stacks of cash in my fucking saddlebag. And then we took a little trip up north, which was a pretty nice ride. It was windy as fuck on the way up, so we didn't get up as far as what we wanted to get. We ended up just hitting the motel and calling it a day. And then the next day was a nice ride. Then we went back and polished her new bike up, because that was kind of a shit show buying shit off Marketplace sometimes, you know, the people aren't there and blah, blah, blah. So it was kind of last minute. All of a sudden the guy finally got home and off the back of my bike onto her new bike. And we just took off. We didn't know nothing about that bike. And it was kind of funny as fuck coming back because there was fucking parts falling off it and shit. The saddlebag fell off and fucking hung down and started melting on the fucking exhaust, and that shit was smoking. I'm like, pull over. So she's on the way back. The right hand floorboard fucking bolt was stripped out because some dumbass put some crash bars on there and didn't know what they were doing. So the floorboard's fucking hanging to the one side. The brake light was unhooked, didn't have no brake light. So when she comes back, she's got like extra parts strapped on the back of the fucking bike and shit. So we decided we better cut the trip a little short and head back and check this bike out, which really some people probably need a good smack in the fucking head. It's my opinion, you know. Not saying you should go do that. Because I went through that bike and there's a bunch of loose bolts and shit on that thing. Like, who don't fucking check their bikes out? I personally said that we shouldn't take off yet. We should go back to camp. I should check this bike out before we go. But she was like, I don't give a fuck, because that's how she rolls. And it worked. But I felt bad for her because we ended up riding back to my place because I got dispatched to go to work. So we decided we'd just ride the bikes over to my place and she'll stay the night there. And then, you know, I'll get up and go to work and she'll ride her bike back to camp, right? But it wasn't supposed to rain till later in the day. When you're wet at 50 degrees, it's fucking cold. It's a shitty ride. So I felt a little bit bad about that, but she made it back. She was more concerned that her bike got all dirty. So we did that, and I didn't get no footage of that whole shenanigans up north because I'm kind of a dipshit. And I went to bust out my GoPro, and my GoPro was sitting at the house on the kitchen table. So next week, we'll see what we're doing. Slept up here on the top of Mount Eagle last night. Mount Eagle, Tennessee. If you've never been through here, it's like a little brake check spot. It's kind of funny, really. But before I get into that, I gotta say, our country should have the motto of mind your own motherfucking business. Alright? Really, think about it. Don't steal my shit, don't fuck with me, I don't care. Everybody's always fucking with me. Like, I'm on a truck stop last night with a 12-pack of Monster, right? And this guy was like, oh, wow, I'm getting a lot of sugar in that. Those things will kill you. You should have seen this dude. He was way overweight. A little greasy looking, like he hadn't taken a shower. Fucking teeth all fucked up. You worry about me drinking Monster? You know what else I do? A rare and mysterious thing. This is not a vape. This is an actual cigarette. From the old days. People are always fucking commenting about me not wearing a fucking helmet. When I'm on my motorcycle and I'm not wearing a helmet, that don't fucking affect your life at all. That affects me when I fall off a fucking motorcycle. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I got the goddamn $1 trillion fucking insurance plan. I'm good. Sometimes I wear one. I almost hit a deer the other night. I skidded for, fuck, possibly 50 feet. Damn near hit it. Shit just happens. That's the whole fun of it, man. When I hit at like 120 on the dashboard on that fucking Harley, me and God are like real close. We're hanging out. He likes it. Get over it. So what else was I ranting about? Oh, this brake check area. It's kind of funny. Well, first of all, the first time I ever came through here was probably like 18, 19, maybe even 20 years ago, right? And I'd never been down here. I'd never really been out traveling a whole lot, really. You know, I just started in trucking, and I was heading down to Florida, which was kind of a big thing for me. I had been to Florida before because I actually grew up in Florida until I was 12 years old, believe it or not. But I'd never really been out on a road trip. per se. Definitely not in trucking. And at that point, prior to that, I was doing a lot of regional, you know, where I would just do Ohio, Indiana, Illinois. I'm out of Michigan. So, you know, basically just short trips, right? So now, yeah, I'm like 20 something, young 20s. And I'm out on this big road trip, you know. I'm going to go down to Florida. I'm trucking. I come through here, this mountain, windy area, foggy as fuck. You couldn't see nothing, right? I didn't know what one of these brake check areas were or anything. I just seen a sign flashing, all trucks got to go in here. And I remember coming through here, I didn't even know what the fuck this thing was, man. And next thing I know, I'm on this fucking 5% grade. I think it's might be a 6% for like 5 miles or something. It's pretty steep. People hit the runoffs a lot. I don't know how. I mean, you gotta be kind of dumb and ain't that steep. But they do. It seems like every other week I see a truck off in the runoff. Generally a Volvo. And I hit that grade being young. I was like, holy shit, I didn't know, you know, if I was dropping off the fucking end of the earth. Anyway, that's funny to me. But back in the day, there used to be fucking cops just swarming around up here, you know. And you didn't get away with shit. If you went past this fucker, they were on you. And there was always one sitting at the bottom of the mountain. And they were just plucking trucks off left and right. Well, now I sit here, fuck, a lot of trucks just blowing right on by. They ain't even pulling in here. And it's 45 mile an hour speed limit going down the mountain. Fuck, they're just flying down the mountain. Nobody gives a fuck. I hardly see any cops anymore at all ever since the whole COVID and the defund me thing. I just don't see them. Which is probably good. They should only come when they're called. But in some aspects, it is getting a little bit out of hand. I will say that. I mean, fuck. Some people are just getting a little crazy. So that's my story on that. But it's basically just a fucking parking lot with a couple red lights. And the whole purpose of it is so we're not all bunched up going down the mountain. That way it spaces everybody out. Like that guy, see, he just, I don't know if you can see that, he just blew the red light. He didn't even stop. So he's right on the ass of the other truck. Which I don't even know what the sense even pulling in here was if you're just going to run the red light. But it's kind of like some cowboy shit sitting up here now. Nobody gives a fuck. And then like last week I was coming down. This truck holds back pretty good. But I don't fuck around, you know, I keep it, I don't go over like 50, 55 maybe going down this mountain. I'll drop it back to like 45, let it go up to 55, and then drop it back down, you know. But I came down, and I was fucking pissed, man, because I'm, you know, doing about 45, I'm coming down, and you got fucking Swifty Swift and TMC or whatever, the flatbedders, with a nice shiny truck. They're riding side by side at like 35 mile an hour. So you're gonna be doing that, you need to get in the right fucking lane. Because now we're coming down and we ain't got nowhere to fucking go, so we gotta bind all of our shit up. Now we're heating our fucking brakes up and shit, you know? But I'll shut up and quit my ranting. Quit my YouTube whining. See, there you go. There's another one just blowing the red light right there. See what I'm saying? It's fucking, they don't give a fuck no more. And that's that Nussbaum or whatever the hell company. I always thought they were probably pretty strict. What the fuck do you do? Just sit here and laugh. Damn, today turned out to be kind of a flop now, I guess. On account of the fact that it's raining like a motherfucker. Holy shit. Rain. Generally don't stop for rain. But it's raining all the way from fucking Nashville to Indianapolis. And it's heavy, heavy, heavy fucking rain. So I've been in it for about 2 hours right now. Going about 45. Can't really see shit. And I had enough of it. Sometimes you just say, fuck it, I ain't doing it no more. Which sounds good right now. But I was going to stop and take a shower. And I was going to get something to eat. But I got my trusty potato salad. And tomorrow it's going to suck. Because I only put on 565 miles today. That's going to cost me at the end of the week, right? When I'm trying to get home. But I still want to do it no more. I have 3 more hours in the fucking pouring ass rain. Another load on, time to head guess where back to Atlanta. They keep sending me back to this farm here. It's not my favorite one because it's all fucking muddy. There's cow shit everywhere. There's flies everywhere. Truck gets all dirty. Cow shit in my damn boots. Damn it. And I know some of you might think that I'm some sort of city boy, right? Nope, nope, nope. I grew up in the country. As a matter of fact, I raised my family out in the middle of the Manistee National Forest. Google it sometime in northern Michigan. And the nearest Walmart was 48 minutes from my doorstep. And it was pretty fucking rural. My daughter's graduating classes were 12 to 15 people. So I know all about living in the fucking country. But you don't necessarily have to have cow shit in your damn boots and stuff all the time. And I think they make enough money to throw a little bit of gravel in this parking lot so I don't get my nice chrome wheels all damn dirty, right? My boss man just called to make sure everything was going all right and that I didn't have any complaints. That kind of makes you wonder. So now I gotta watch my last 3 YouTube videos and see what I was complaining about. What's happening, people? Parked for the night. Got some fucking chili again, man. I don't give a shit what anybody says. I think Wendy's got some damn good chili. Oh, just about lost it all though. Oh, and I got some cookies, man. I'm fucking living the life, living large here tonight. But let me tell you some stuff. I'm off this little pull-off deal here in Tennessee. I just don't get on. I don't understand the damn trucking industry anymore. Like, if you're trying to get in here right, there's no spots left. But there's kind of a little gap. Like, if a bunch of trucks backed up a little bit, you could make a spot. Which is cool. Like, if I'm just sitting here eating or whatever, probably technically it shouldn't bother me either, because if I'm sitting here watching TV or eating or whatever, you should probably leave me the fuck alone. That's not my problem, dude. You should have done something different. As I actually got the last parking spot here, so I'm pretty fucking lucky a lot. But if he came up to my door while I was sitting here eating like this and wanted me to back up a little bit so he could get parked, I really don't got no problem with that. I get it, brother. We're all out here. We're all the same. Even though he's one of them fucking dudes that got all the little dingleberries and shit hanging from wherever the hell over in the Middle East, but I don't care. Whatever, dude. We're all truckers. I'll back up. But he woke this guy up in front of me up. Went banged on his door and woke that guy up. Now that's fucking bullshit. I don't know how many times I gotta fucking say that shit. You don't wake a goddamn truck driver up so you could fucking park. That's damn ridiculous, man. So I backed up because the other guy was backing towards me, and I figured I'd give him an easier day. But anyway, it's kind of funny when I'm down there in Georgia, dropping my load. There's a couple more of this company's drivers in there, and I don't know, a few things on that, right? So I meet up with this guy who I met like a few weeks ago. I had gotten to the farm at 9 o'clock at night, and there was no load ready, which was fine because I needed to reset anyway. So I reset. I watched him pull a trailer off the tank house, and I just quick went in there and grabbed it, because on the Smelk you can just grab whatever load's ready. Well, then this dude comes up and he's like, "Oh man, I need to get that load. That's my load." And he was just trying to pull some bullshit, because I got there at 9 o'clock at night. He got there at 4 o'clock in the morning. You know, so what's that? 7 hours difference. Yeah, he seemed to think that I should give him that load. It don't work like that. I didn't end up doing it, but I don't know. It kind of bugged me in the sense that he was just trying to pull that bullshit on me. And I see him today. We get down there to this place down there, and he was already in the drop lot, right? Before I even got over there. But he was just over there fucking around with his truck or whatever. So I come in and there was an empty there, and I snap and I hooked onto it, and he comes over and he's like, "Hey man, that's my empty." I thought he was joking. I'm like, "What do you mean that's your empty?" He's like, "Yeah, I don't see any other empties around here." I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, dude. I'm fucking hooked on it now, man. Get with it. This is the goddamn United States. We're grown fucking men, dude. Like, it ain't fucking gimme. This is trucking, man. Get with the fucking program. You over here dicking around. But here's the thing. That's because you come right in and there's that row of it. If you go around the fucking back, there's a whole bunch of empties back there. I didn't even tell him that for a little while. I just let him wonder if I was just going to keep it. Because I did keep it. I got it. It's with me. It's behind me right now. But I eventually said, "Dude, go over there. There's more over there." Like, duh. And I will say that him and the other guy, they're fucking just cranking out the miles, like 5,500 a week. And they're driving straight down. It's legal. You can do it. But I'm having issues with doing it because it's like 850 to 900 fucking miles coming down here, man, depending on what farm you're picking up at. I was kind of surprised that they were running that many miles. I am actually, honestly, a bit impressed with that. That's pretty fucking good, man. That's some hardcore trucking right there. Showing these truck stops, man. Jesus. Like, I pull in there, and I'm just gonna pull up in front of the fuel island, not at the fuel pump. I run in and grab some McDonald's and head back out. But I come around the corner, and there's this fucking CRST truck, like halfway around the corner, just sitting there. And I'm like, I sit there a minute, then I realize like nothing's going on. So I'm like, man, what the fuck? So I walk up there, and I'm like, what's going on? And she's like, "Well, these people are parked in the way." And I'm like, "Well, just back out and swing wire." And she goes, hold on. I'm calling my dispatcher." Really? I go, "What? What are you calling your dispatcher for?" And she's like, "Just hold on a minute." I was like, "What the fuck are you calling your dispatcher for? Just back up and make the swing bigger and you can get through here." And she puts her phone down and she looks at me and she goes, "Well, I shouldn't have to do that. They shouldn't be parked there." Wow. Really? She's like, "Whatever," and she puts it in reverse and she starts backing up. And I'm like, hey. She's like, "What?" I was like, "Well, you can't back up right now." She's like, "Why?" "'Cause my fucking truck is sitting behind you, you fucking dipshit." So I go back there and I start backing my truck up. I back my truck clear out of the way. Well, now the other guys are coming in, right? And this is how dumb this shit gets. They'll start coming up to the left of me. That's how dumb these fuckers are. And then they'll get up there, and then she won't be able to back anywhere. And then they'll be up there, and I'll be over here, and there'll be more trucks behind them. And it's called a fucking gridlock clusterfuck, you know? So I see them coming in and inching up or whatever, so I just backed all the way across sideways so nobody can get past me. And I get out to guide her. Someone behind my truck's like, "Are you serious, dude?"